and take a vagabond dream.
So this is Lisa and I'm Mark, and we're the Vagabond Dreamers. Sanders, so last day of the monster trip. Standing in a park here in downtown Lisbon. Beautiful morning, lots of activity. Gives us a chance to reflect on the month that we spent here in Portugal. We're actually going to be doing 3 different videos, only this one with commentary. The rest will be about Lisa's trip to Madeira with her sister. And the other will just be a collection of all the places we went to that we don't have time to talk about today. So kick it off.
Well, Portugal was kind of a last minute extension for us. Part of the reason was my sister Marta and I planned a week plus in Madeira with a group of hiking people. And so we worked our trip around that. And what that meant was Mark was going to be alone for over a week, which, I don't know, booyah, depends on who you ask. Anyway, my sister showed up 3 days before we headed to Madeira, and it was so exciting to have her here. I hadn't seen any family, been with any family in 7 months. And we took off from Madeira, and that's a whole nother video. But suffice it to say that Madeira is worth visiting. Incredible island. One of the things we did with Marta before we took off for our hiking trip was we did a smaller hike, a little outside of the city of Sintra. And the hike was Praia de Ursa, which means bear. I didn't actually see the bear, but the hike was incredible. It's another hike that if you're in the Lisbon area, it wasn't incredibly challenging, a little bit, but not out of our comfort zone. But incredible vistas. And when you get to the end of the hike, it opens up into this just magnificent beach. Not super safe for swimming, but that's part of its magnificence. And it was truly incredible hike for so many reasons. Just gorgeous.
The landscape was just something we had really seen from the giant like stacks coming out of the water, the caves. It was really we spent a lot of time in Lisbon. You should mention I got to spend a week alone, which wasn't as much fun as she makes it sound, but that's a compliment to her, I suppose. I did get to play chess. I found a chess club, played the best chess game I've played in many years, beat this Russian grandmaster. It was really incredible. I don't know where it came from because I'm not that good, but it was a lot of fun, and she was quite shocked when she realized how beat. But Lisbon area is just a remarkable city, very good city, of course, very well preserved. Just about everywhere you go as you're walking around, and we did a lot of walking around, are these squares with statues to various conquerors of the Portuguese Empire.
They are conquering. They were a conquering group.
They like to conquer. But they are not understated in any way. They are magnificent. They're large. They loom over the city everywhere you go. But there's a lot of other things that are worth really enjoying. The Portuguese tiles, which is so
everywhere. Every building has its own kind of tile motif, and every corner that you turn has a tile floor, a tile walkway, signs. It's just visually super.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to even fathom how much work goes into plastering an entire outside of the building with these small tiles. It's really remarkable. We went to the tile museum and got to look at some of the history. That's kind of cool.
They do also tile work. They maintain this. I mean, it's an important part of their history. It's an important part of what they do. And you'll see big pieces of floor missing. When I say floor, in the streets and sidewalks, and they repair it so that it's actually like it was before. It's a pretty cool process.
There are parks everywhere. We spent a lot of time hiking the park. We took some photos in a number of parks that overlook the city. It's really interesting the way they laid out the city to be so human friendly.
Yeah.
Down at the river's edge, the sand sculptures.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. I don't know how they do it, but they maintain these sculptures and they add to them, and the cairns that are next door, all celebrating
art,
various,
yeah.
various countries, all decked out in various flags and colors. And, again, it's just art, 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 and art everywhere that you want.
We did some tourist things, which of course we're tourists. So a lot of our time is spent figuring out which pieces we want to do. And Pink Street was cool. I think overrated, but we had to check it out and had some of the best smash burgers on Pink Street.
It was really overrated. Pink Street is known for being the old red light district of Portugal, where all the rich people went down to hide and to have illicit relations with prostitutes. But the remnants of that would have been much more fun to kind of
Seriously,
memorialize
we were
that.
alone for a week.
Oh, good point. But it was all right. I guess it was really, really overstated. And then the fish culture in this town is everywhere too. And Lisa got to try sardines.
I'm not a fish fan in general, especially fish would have all their body parts attached, but I was brave.
It was brave.
Gave it the old college try.
Yeah.
It was gross. It was gross.
Like it.
But I'm brave.
You're brave.
You are brave.
That's true. But maybe next time, well, if you decide to actually try to buy one sardine, skinless and boneless. It's less fish. And it's more like tuna. If you want to, you have napkins. If you don't want,
I'm going to tough it out. And it does taste fishy, Marna. I'm just saying. It's very good.
So speaking of fish, the beaches.
The beaches. So we traveled from Lisbon to Porto and then down to the Algarve area. And of course, we explored beaches in all of those areas. And I will tell you that they're all so unique. The landscape in all of those areas is unique. And Portugal, for such a small country, has such amazing diversity, both culturally but also physically. So the beaches, we went to in the Algarve, we went to Ovixis, I think that's how I say it, which is a blue flag beach. And we went there because the beaches we went to in the Algarve that were highly rated, which were gorgeous, were covered with a seaweed, and they really weren't. They weren't usable. So we saw pictures, we hiked to them, and then we went to the blue flag beach off the coast, up from the Algarve.
What's a blue flag?
A blue flag beach is a sustainable, eco-friendly, really well taken care of. And there are quite a few of them around the world. They're blue flags. That's how they're recognized. In Portugal, it's quite. This was not an understatement. I think it was super cool. Fed right off the river. We spent an entire day enjoying the surfing. We didn't surf, but we watched them. Big waves, lots of lifeguards, huge undertones, but an incredible afternoon.
An entire cove of nudists.
Oh, yeah, and just didn't make it down there, so I didn't hit that bucket list. It's unfortunate, so I'll keep it on my list. But anyway, moving on. We also went up to Porto, and the Porto beaches were also very, very surprised. Ruggedness of the beaches in Porto. Could have explored so many more had we had more time. And down from Porto, in between Porto and Lisbon, was Nazaré, which is the surfing capital of Portugal, almost of the world. They have reported up to 90-meter waves. At times, we didn't get to see those, but we saw the beach. We hiked down to the coast. It was another incredible visual, great little city. Did look up real estate because it's cool. Saw a rescue. Someone hurt their knee hiking down. She wasn't in sandals, so that's what they say. But they had to rescue her off the beach. So that was interesting. And again, the beaches off Lisbon. We had some incredible beaches off the coast of Lisbon. One across the bridge close to El Mar. So the beaches were wonderful. Loved them.
And I rarely correct Lisa, but it was 30 meters, not 90. 90
Oh, 90 feet, 30 meters. It's this. We know this now.
I just didn't want people to think.
I appreciate it. 90 meters is massive.
So
Incorrect. You get it once too.
I don't think Lisbon's a great town, but for my money, Porto is the best city in Portugal. I really, really loved it. much more quaint, but still so much to do and so much to see. Magnificent buildings.
Oh, the buildings.
Just,
It ranks next to Vienna.
yeah.
Different, very, but the buildings were incredible.
And it has bridges. There are 6 bridges across the river. And some of them are really spectacular bridges. We walked across this 200 bridge or over the top of it there and back. The trains running right next to us. You could see down the river and all the way out to the ocean. But Porto was really spectacular. And when you look at the port wine is really where it comes to this region. One side of the river, where all the famous pork manufacturers, if you're a pork person, they're all right there. And we found out that they're all there because when they wanted to build them, there was a provision in Porto, the city itself, on the one side of the river, that you had to pay a tax to every church in Porto in order to open the business.
Figure.
There were 52 churches. So if you wanted to open a business, you had to pay 52 different churches a tax. So they just did what every other good capitalist would do, and they went on the other side of the river where there wasn't.
All the wines and Madeiras and ports are.
All right there. And it was a really great town. I could see myself as we have on this whole trip saying, okay, where could I end up being? If it was in Portugal, from how it would be Portugal. We got to see Porto and Lisbon from some unique perspectives. We took some boat rides.
We took 2 boat rides. One boat ride was in Lisbon, and we really it was an evening ride, a sunset ride, and we sailed under motor up the river and back down the river. So we got to see Almada, we got to see Lisbon from a different river.
Marta, say hi.
Hi.
You're on video.
Huh?
You're being videoed.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Say something smart.
You want to buy a sailboat?
Uh-huh. Hey, there's a story. And then here's Giuseppe. Oh, he's right in the sun. He looks like an angel. Pablo, our captain. Antonio.
It's too close to do me.
And then there's Lisa.
Hello, Stalker. Here's Stalker.
We're in the Tagus River in Lisbon.
I also met Celia from Italy, was a darling woman. Really clicked with her, and I can see me connecting with her if we take more trips, and if she decides to ever come to the United States. We talked about that as well, but told her to hold on. One of the coolest things about Celia is that she's one of the many women that we've run across that are solo travelers. And that is empowering from the standpoint of a woman. And I think Mark was also super impressed with women that we found that are doing this on their own.
Yeah, I mean, I had to ask her, how difficult it was. She just was all about it. She travels all the time by herself. And we met other women like this throughout. So she was really fun.
So that empowers me for next year. Figure out where I want to go, and we'll see.
All right.
There we go. The other boat ride we took was just Mark and I up in Porto. He took us on another sailboat, and it was like there was Madeira served and drinks served and little snacks, and we took a ride all the way through the river and then into the sea at sunset, and it was incredible.
The Douro River here in Porto, all by myself, checking out things. Oh wait, there's a hot woman. Hi there.
Hi there. How are you videoing again?
What's that?
It's pretty close to my face.
It is. Well, it's a good face.
Yeah.
Didn't I see you in Rome earlier?
You might have.
Yeah. Are you
I've seen you
following
a
me?
lot.
Are you
and
following
I'm
me
feeling
around?
like I need to report you.
Okay. well,
Seagulls in their natural habitat.
Can't find. It was really a lovely silver ride.
The remarkable thing about it, we get all the way out to the ocean. We're in the Atlantic Ocean. It looks calm and flat. Oh, but the swells.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I just can't even imagine sailing on the ocean if there was any.
And they weren't big, but they felt big.
Well, that covers the highlights of our weeks here in Portugal. Again, we're going to release another video with a whole bunch of pictures with captions so you can see kind of where we went. We just can't talk about everything.
Nobody wants to listen to us talk that long.
Remarkable, remarkable country. Lisa mentioned the diversity, and there's a lot of it, diversity of geography, of people, of food. If we're a really small country, it's very different as you move up and down the coast. One of the reasons we went on this trip was to get away from the U.S. for a while and to get a chance to look at our country from a different perspective. We also wanted to be ambassadors for the country that we know the United States can be. We wanted to make sure that people knew not everybody was okay with what was going on back in the States. So how'd we do?
I think we did exceptionally well. In all 20 countries, we were met with open arms and kindness for the most part, and I feel like we displayed that. But I'll tell you, yesterday in Lisbon, on our final conversation with someone, it really was an amazing moment. So we stopped at a tile store, and we had lots of little conversations with this woman about the tiles we were looking for and where we were from. She shared a little bit about the diversity in Portugal and so on and so forth. And it was really a lovely conversation. And at one point she stopped and she looked at us and she said, "How are you Americans? You're so sweet." And for me, that is like exactly the perfect moment, because we were just being us and nothing was forced. And it was a great way to end our stay here in Lisbon, as well as globally.
And our stay is over. 204 days, heading back tonight on an overnight, well, kind of an overnight flight. But
Long flight, 8-hour
long
flight.
flight. And then we have to figure out what we're doing when we get back. We'll have more videos on our overall thoughts on the trip, the things we liked, the places that were special to us. And we look forward to putting those together. This is Lisa, and I'm Mark, and we're the Vagabond Dreamers.
And take a vagabond dream of a vagabond fool. I ain't too proud to beg, but I'm playing it cool.
Wonderful ride. And
We have to pause. I need my papers.
oh, sorry.
No. My papers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's all on. We'll take care of it. Thank you.
Ter apanhado o papel com a pá, aquele papel.
It's ours. We will take care of it.